You know, every year people say, man, this year was crazy. We say it every single December. But be honest with me, 2025 felt different. It didn't just feel busy, it felt watched. It felt like the vibe shifted. Maybe it's because there are cameras everywhere now, maybe it's because we're all hyper-connected. But the stories I got sent this year, they weren't just spooky, they were predatory. We're talking about the kind of stuff that makes you double-check the deadbolt at 3 a.m., the stuff that makes you realize that just because you're paranoid, it doesn't mean they aren't following you. Tonight, we're wrapping up the year by diving into the absolute worst of it. These are the top 10 terrifying, allegedly true stories from the last 12 months. Get comfortable. And maybe turn down the lights. Let's get into it. Story 1, the smart home specter. Our first story comes from a guy named Marcus in Seattle. Marcus had just outfitted his new apartment with everything smart. Lights, locks, cameras. He loved the convenience. Until last February. Marcus is lying in bed scrolling on his phone around midnight when his Alexa in the living room just lights up blue. Now, nobody said her name. His apartment is dead silent. It spins blue for a second, and then in that perfectly calm robot voice it says, "Okay, unlocking front door now." Marcus freezes. His heart drops into his stomach. A second later, he hears the very distinct mechanical clunk of his smart deadbolt disengaging. He grabs a baseball bat he keeps by the bed and creeps into the hallway. The front door is standing wide open. The hallway light sensor triggers, flooding the space with light. Nobody is there. He checks the app log on his phone. It shows the command was given verbally at 12:03 a.m. He shut the door, manually locked it, and didn't sleep a wink. The next day, he checked his indoor security camera footage. At 12:03 a.m., the camera captures his empty living room. But just as the Alexa lights up, you hear a whisper on the audio. It's faint, static-filled, but it sounds exactly like Marcus's own voice saying, "Alexa, open the door." Marcus lives alone. Story 2, the rest stop loop. This next one happened over the summer to Sarah and her girlfriend Jess during a road trip through rural Nevada. If you've ever driven through Nevada at night, you know it is a different kind of dark out there. It's oppressive. They needed gas around 2 a.m. and pulled into this tiny, seemingly abandoned station. One flickering overhead light, one pump working. Jess goes inside to use the bathroom, and Sarah starts pumping gas. While she's standing there, this old, beat-up sedan slowly rolls past the station on the main road. It's going maybe 10 miles an hour. Sarah gets a weird vibe because the driver is staring right at her, head turned the whole time he drives by. Creepy, but whatever. He keeps driving. Jess comes back out, they finish getting gas, and they get back on the highway heading east. 10 minutes later, they are the only car on the road. Sarah looks in the rearview mirror. There are headlights way back in the distance. Another 10 minutes pass. The headlights are closer now. It's the same beat-up sedan. Sarah speeds up a little. The sedan speeds up. Now they're panicked. There's no cell service out here. They drive for another 20 minutes, pushing 80 miles an hour, and this car is just matching their pace, staying about 50 yards back. Suddenly, ahead of them, they see lights. It's the gas station, the same one they left 40 minutes ago. Sarah swears they hadn't turned off the main road. They had been driving straight east. She screams at Jess to check the map. The GPS is spinning in circles. As they blow past the gas station, Sarah looks in the rearview mirror. The sedan didn't follow them past the station. It slowed down and pulled into the lot. It just sat there, under that flickering light, waiting. They didn't stop driving until the sun came up. Before we get to number 3, quick question. Have you ever had something happen where technology just glitched in a way that felt malicious? Like that first story with the Alexa. Let me know in the comments. It feels like that kind of stuff is happening way more often lately. Also, if you're regretting watching this alone right now, do me a favor and hit that like button. It helps the algorithm find other people to scare. All right, back to the list. Story 3, the gig economy trap. This one comes from a DoorDash driver named Liam. It happened just last month, back in November. It's a late-night order, big tip, delivery to a house at the very end of a cul-de-sac that backs up into some dense woods. Liam pulls up. The house is completely dark, not a single light on inside or out. The instructions say, "Leave it door, do not knock, baby sleeping." Standard stuff. Liam walks up the long driveway. It's dead quiet, just the sound of his shoes on the pavement. He drops the food on the mat, snaps the confirmation photo, and turns to walk back to his car. As he's walking back, about halfway down the driveway, he hears a sound coming from the side of the house. Ch-ch. It sounds like a pump-action shotgun being racked. Liam freezes. His blood runs cold. He thinks, okay, maybe it's just a neighbor, maybe a weird noise from the woods. He takes another step toward his car. From the darkness near the garage, a voice, very deep, very calm, says, "You didn't knock." Liam doesn't even turn around. The adrenaline dump is instantaneous. He sprints the vast 20 feet to his car, dives in and locks the doors. As he's fumbling to start the ignition, his headlights sweep across the garage door. Standing there is a man, easily 6'5", just wearing boxers and a t-shirt. He's holding something long and metal by his side. He just watches Liam peel out of the cul-de-sac. Liam reported it to DoorDash and the cops. The cops went out there. The house was empty. It was a foreclosure. Nobody had lived there in 6 months. Story 4, the Airbnb host. We all love a cheap Airbnb, right? This story is why I'm starting to prefer hotels. A girl named Maya rented a cabin in the Smoky Mountains for a solo retreat back in the spring. The place had incredible reviews. The host, Gerald, was listed as a superhost. The first 2 nights were great, peaceful. On the 3rd night, Maya's in the living room reading. It's pouring rain outside. She gets a notification from the Airbnb app. It's a message from Gerald, the host. The message just says, "You look nice tonight." Maya's stomach drops. The cabin is isolated. There are no other houses around. She looks at the windows, but it's dark outside and bright inside. She can't see anything but her own reflection. She nervously types back, "Haha, thanks. Are you nearby?" 3 dots appear. He's typing, then they disappear. He doesn't respond. 20 minutes go by. Maya is freaked out, sitting in the dark now, clutching her phone. Her phone buzzes again. Another message from Gerald. It's a picture. It's a picture taken through the living room window, looking in at Maya, sitting on the couch where she was 20 minutes ago, reading her book. The rain is streaking down the glass in the photo. She didn't pack. She grabbed her keys, ran to her car in the pouring rain, and drove down the mountain doing 50 on those winding roads. When she contacted Airbnb support the next day, they looked into Gerald's profile. It had been deleted that morning. The actual owners of the cabin said they'd never heard of anyone named Gerald, and their account had been hacked 3 days prior. Story 5, the watcher in the crawl space. This one is disgusting. It hits that very specific fear of violation. A family in Ohio had been noticing a weird smell in their house for weeks, like something dead, but also musky, like body odor. They checked for dead mice, cleaned the vents, nothing. The dad, Chris, finally decides he has to check the crawl space under the house. It's this tight little dirt area you access through a panel in the master bedroom closet. He gets his flashlight, opens the panel, and drops down. He crawls back into the deepest corner near where the HVAC unit is. He finds the source of the smell. It's a sleeping bag. A filthy, rolled-up sleeping bag pushed behind the furnace. Chris thinks maybe a transient got in during the winter. He grabs a stick and pokes the bag. It's empty. But then he shines his light around the immediate area. Taped to the side of the furnace are pictures, Polaroids. There are dozens of them. There are pictures of Chris's family. Pictures of them watching TV in the living room, pictures of his wife cooking dinner, pictures taken from inside the house, from angles low to the ground like someone was hiding behind the sofa. The newest photo was dated the day before. Whoever had been living down there heard Chris opening the closet panel and must have slipped out through an exterior vent just minutes before Chris found the nest. They never caught the guy. Story 6, the glitch in the woods. This story was sent in by a hiker named Elias. He's an experienced trekker, not someone who gets easily spooked in the woods. He was hiking a remote trail in the Pacific Northwest this past September. He's about 10 miles in, total isolation. He says the vibe changed instantly. You know how usually in the woods there's background noise, birds, wind, bugs? It all just stopped. Dead silence. It felt like stepping into a soundproof room. Elias stops walking. He gets that primal feeling of being watched. He scans the tree line. About 50 yards to his left, standing perfectly still among the trees, is what looks like a person, but it's wrong. Elias described it as looking blurry, like when a camera can't focus. The trees around it were sharp, but this figure was just a vibrating smudge of gray and brown colors. Elias calls out, "Hello? You okay?" The thing didn't move a muscle, but then the silence broke. Elias said a sound came from the direction of the figure. It wasn't a scream. He said it sounded exactly like a dial-up internet modem connecting. That screeching, static noise, but amplified to be incredibly loud. Elias turned and ran. He ran for 3 miles straight until he hit a ranger station. He was puking from exhaustion. He told the ranger what he saw. The ranger didn't even look surprised. He just said, "Yeah, folks see weird stuff up on that ridge. We don't go up there past noon." Story 7, the FaceTime glitch. This one happened to a teenager named Chloe in October. She was FaceTiming her boyfriend Jake late one night. Jake is at his house, sitting at his desk in his bedroom. They're just talking about school, normal stuff. Suddenly, Jake's video freezes. His audio is still working fine. He's still talking, but his face on the screen is stuck in this weird, half-smiling expression. Chloe says, "Hey, you froze." Jake says, "Weird, you're fine on my end." A few seconds pass. Jake is still talking, but his frozen image on Chloe's screen changes. It didn't move smoothly. It snapped into a new position. Now, the frozen image isn't Jake smiling. It's Jake looking over his shoulder toward his bedroom closet door with a look of absolute terror on his face. Chloe goes, "Jake, stop messing around. That's creepy." Jake sounds confused. "What? I'm just sitting here looking at you." On Chloe's screen, the frozen image snaps again. Now, Jake isn't in the frame at all. The camera view is just his empty chair, and the closet door in the background is open about 6 inches. Chloe is screaming at this point, "Jake, get out of your room, run!" Jake thinks he's pranked him, but he hears the panic in her voice. He spins around in his chair. Chloe watches his real-time reaction come back as the video unfreezes. He screams. The call drops instantly. Jake called her back 5 minutes later from outside his house. He said when he turned around, his closet door, which he always keeps shut, was wide open, and there were wet, muddy footprints leading out of it toward his bed. Story 8, the underground shift. My friend Dave works security at a massive hospital complex in a major city. He works the graveyard shift. Hospitals are creepy enough at night, but Dave works the sub-basement levels, down where the morgue, the laundry services, and the old tunnels connect buildings. It was 3:30 a.m. back in July. Dave is doing his rounds in sub-level 4. This area is mostly abandoned storage. Nobody comes down here at night. He's walking down a long concrete corridor when he hears whistling. It's a jaunty little tune echoing off the concrete walls ahead of him. Dave stops. He calls out, Security! Who's down here? The whistling stops immediately. Dave starts walking again, slower this time, hand on his taser. He gets to the end of the hall where it T-bones into another corridor. As he turns the corner, he bumps right into a gurney parked in the middle of the hallway. Under the white sheet on the gurney, there is very clearly the shape of a body. Dave radios dispatch. "Hey, why is there a transport down in sub 4? Dispatch comes back. "Negative, Dave. Morgue is clear tonight. No transport scheduled." Dave looks back at the gurney. The sheet is moving slightly, like the person underneath is breathing shallowly. He reaches out to pull the sheet back. Right before his hand touches the fabric, the whistling starts again. It's not coming from the gurney. It's coming from directly behind him, right inside his ear. Dave bolted. He refused to go back down to sub 4. He transferred to the day shift a week later. Story 9, the escalation and the climax. We're down to the final 2. These are the ones that really stuck with me this year. Story number 9 happened during that massive blackout in the Northeast back in August. No power for 3 days for millions of people. A woman named Sarah was alone in her apartment on the second night of the blackout. It's suffocatingly hot, windows open, pitch black everywhere. She's lying on the couch trying to sleep when she hears her neighbor in the apartment upstairs walking around. The footsteps are heavy, pacing back and forth, directly above her living room. It goes on for an hour. Sarah gets annoyed. It's 2 a.m. She grabs a broom handle and bangs on her ceiling 3 times. Bang, bang, bang. The footsteps stop immediately. Total silence for about 10 seconds. Then, from upstairs, there's an answering knock on the floor. Bang, bang, bang. Sarah freezes. Okay, message received. She lies back down. A minute later, bang, bang, bang. It's louder this time. Then again, bang, bang, bang. Now it's rhythmic, pounding on the floor above her, and it's moving. It's moving across the ceiling, towards the hallway, towards the stairs that lead down to her floor. Sarah realizes the footsteps she heard earlier. Her upstairs neighbor, Mrs. Gable, was an 80-year-old woman who weighed about 90 pounds. Those weren't her footsteps. Sarah ran out of her apartment just as she heard her own doorknob rattle. They found Mrs. Gable the next day when the power came back on. I won't go into details, but she hadn't been walking around that night. And finally, story number 10. This didn't happen to one person. This was sent in by 4 different people in 4 different states, all happening on the same night, December 23rd, just last week. They all reported the exact same thing. They woke up around 3 a.m. feeling an intense urge to look out their window. Standing in the street or in their yard was a person, just standing there, facing the house. But when these people tried to focus on the figure's face, their minds just slid off it. They couldn't perceive it. One guy in Denver said, "It was like my brain refused to acknowledge what its face looked like. Every time I tried to look, my eyes would involuntarily water and blur." All 4 witnesses said the same thing happened next. The figure raised one hand and pointed. Not at the house, not at the witness. It pointed straight up at the sky. And then they all said they heard a sound, not externally, inside their heads. A sound like massive, heavy chains dragging against metal coming from way up in the atmosphere. The figures vanished. I don't know what that was about. I don't know if it was mass hysteria or something else. But 4 unrelated people having the exact same hallucination on the same night, that doesn't sit right with me. So, yeah, that was 2025. A year of glitches, watchers in the walls, and things standing in the tree line that don't belong there. I don't know about you guys, but I'm ready for this year to be over. Hopefully 2026 is a little quieter, but I doubt it. If you made it this far, you're braver than most. Let me know in the comments which story messed you up the most. For me, it's the crawlspace guy. The idea of someone living under your feet taking pictures of your family, that's gonna stick with me. If you have a story from this year that belongs on this list, send it to the email in the description. Maybe you'll make the next video. Stay safe out there. Check your locks and stop looking out the window at 3 a.m. Good night.